Oh wait, this is tutorial coming up. How to look hungover. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mayra Alejandra. Today I am doing a bit of a cleanup. I like to get some organizing, some cleaning, some cleansing, a little bit of smudging here and there toward the end of the year, literally on like the last 2 days of the year. It's sort of like a mental tradition that I have where I just like to, I don't know, make sure that my space is clean and that it's like starting fresh. That's kind of what I wanted to do today. So there's gonna be a few clips of me cleaning, and then I'm going to transition into more of an overhead shot so that we can take a look at my makeup collection, because to be frank, I need to declutter. There are just several products in my collection that I'm sure have gone bad already, and yeah, I need to get rid of them. The situation here with my work desk is a bit chaotic, and I cannot edit here. I can't do much here, so I need to clear it out. I did buy a shelf that should be coming soon, within the next few hours. So I want to get all the cleaning done. I want to have decluttered a little bit just so that I can move some of the makeup onto the bookshelf, and then again, just kind of organize around here. I film in my attic. I pretty much use this space as like my creative studio, but it's also used as storage. So you will be seeing quite a bit more. If you like those type of videos, I hope that you will stick around, and if you want to hang out with me in the future, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, I'm just stalling at this point. Let's get to it. Okay, so what I will be doing is comb through my collection and see what it is that I have, how much of things I still have until I finish them, because I do have quite a few products that are kind of at the last leg of their service. Many of these categories I won't be decluttering anything per se, but I still want to show you what I have, and then just keep in mind for myself that I really need to do a better job at finishing those products that are almost gone. There are also like 1 or 2 products per category, so I'm gonna do my best to group them with another category that would make sense. I'm really gonna do the most here with my collection. We're starting off with primer slash skin prep. We're starting off with my Auric Glow Lust. This is in the shade Pyrite, and then this is the shade Selenite. I absolutely cannot live without my Glow Lust. It's honestly it's one of my favorite ways to start my makeup. I really just use this mostly under makeup. It's great, incredibly luminous, and call me crazy, but I kind of feel like there's some like skincare benefits to this, because even after you take it off, it leaves your skin looking really healthy and not parched whatsoever. So definitely will be keeping both shades. I also have the Well People Bio Brightener Priming Serum. This stuff is pretty good. It's a decent primer. It is very radiant as well, which is nice. And there is quite a bit of, I don't know if the thing is mica, but there is quite a bit of shimmer, if you can see. It's like you can see on my finger. So it is a makeup slash skincare hybrid. Yeah, it does leave the skin looking pretty bright. It is nice. It's a nice option to have. I haven't used this very much, but during these coming weeks, pretty cold weather, this is gonna come in handy. So now this is my beloved In Beauty face glaze. This is great also. I use this as a primer. It's so hydrating in the best way possible. It also has a little bit of a pearlescence to it, so you can definitely wear this by itself or wear it under makeup. But yeah, definitely will be keeping this guy around until I finish. This guy is the e.l.f. Putty Primer. This one for sure will forever stay in my collection. A little bit goes a long way, and it's just one of those primers that delivers what it says it's going to deliver. It helps fill in your pores a little bit, smooths out your skin. It doesn't necessarily mattify, but it does take away some of the oiliness or extra shine that you might not want. And it kind of just gives you a skin-like finish. It is one of my favorite primers, if not probably my favorite. So keeping that. This is the Say Glowy, what is this? Glowy Super Gel. This is in the shade Sun Glow. This is just fine. I am still keeping it. Obviously, there's still tons left. You know, I don't get as much use of this product as I thought I would initially, but mainly because I can only use it when I have more of a tan. Otherwise, it kind of looks a little red or muddy on my skin tone. It doesn't do as much as the Glow Lust, for instance. I feel like this one is very much just like a lightweight serum with some gold shimmer. It's nice, but I don't feel like it does anything special. So I'm really just trying to finish this up, not planning to repurchase this at all. It does provide a nice little radiant boost to the skin, but I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't do much under makeup. All right, and I did want to add my 2 primers here, and I will definitely be keeping the Urban Decay. I actually got this one to replace my Fenty Pro Filter, but because I guess I got too excited and just started using this one right off the bat, I forgot to finish this one off. It's pretty much there, honestly. I'm like scraping the walls of the product at this point. But what I will do is put this one up toward the front so that I can finish this off, and I'm gonna put this one away. So really quick here, one of the groupings that I said, oh, almost forgot. One of the groupings that I said I would do would be those categories that have 1 or 2 items per category. So for instance, the concealer category, I only have these 2 concealers in my collection, which I'm super proud of myself for just having 2. I will be keeping both. Obviously, the Dior Backstage Concealer is my ride or die. It is one of my favorite formulas right now. It's super hydrating. It doesn't really cake up under if you set it well. It's a perfect match for me. This one is the Skin Mimetic Concealer from Make, and it's something that I recently added to my collection. Although it didn't seem like I was very impressed by this concealer, I have nothing negative to say about it. You know, it's very lightweight. It's a really nice option to have, and it's a little bit, I don't know, just really thin in formulation. So I'm really happy to have something like this for those days where I'm really just trying to keep it super natural. So I will be keeping this one as well. So the next thing that I'm going to keep is the Rose Ink Luminous Tinted Serum, and this is one of my favorite skin tints that I discovered. I really like the way it wears throughout the day. The only thing that I'm not so crazy about is the price. It does retail for like $49. It is a little pricey, and as you can see, I've been getting through it. I'm really happy that I got to try a formulation such as this, where the pigment is kind of suspended within just like a really light serum. Another no-brainer for me is the Salt New York Sneaky Balms. I have the shade N9 and N11. These are an absolute must-have in my collection. Really like the formulation. I love the way it mimics skin much better than any other product. It's honestly just a great quality skin tint, and also very well priced, especially for the quality that you get. I think it's a really affordable skin tint. So here I have the older group of skin tints in my collection. I do have the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint with SPF 40, and the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop. I know for certain that I'm almost finished with the Ilia, so what I'm gonna do is, just as I'm going to do with the Fenty Pro Filter Primer, I'm just gonna put this at the front of my stash so that I'm able to reach for this with more of an intention to finish it. Now these, I have to admit, are my least favorite skin tints. The Kosas is not a favorite because it never sets. It basically stays dewy. It definitely lives to its name. It is an oil with pigment within it. It does get a little gritty if you don't shake it enough, but overall I would say that I would rather keep this as opposed to the Fenty Ease Drop, and mainly because every single time that I wear this now, I'm not sure if it's because it's just getting older, but it does end up oxidizing really strangely on my skin. It makes my skin look really textured, really dry, and I'm just not into it anymore. So I will be keeping the Kosas face oil, but I will be decluttering this guy. I don't reach for it anymore. The only thing that I guess I would be a little happy about is that it is a decent amount of coverage for being a skin tint. However, again, it's always been finicky for me. Now, again, that it's a little bit older, it's just not working as well. I will be getting rid of this guy. Okay, so here I'm doing a combination, again, highlights and bronzers. So first up, I have the About Face Light Lock Stick and Please Indulge Me. This is one of the prettier highlights in my collection. It's really just nice on the skin. It doesn't enhance the texture whatsoever. It's just a really pretty rosy color. It's not so pink that it's evident as you would think on the skin, that rosy tint. It's really subtle. I really like it. It's one of those like cream to powder formulas, and it's just, I mean, look at that, man. So pretty. You can't really tell because of my lighting situation at the moment, but it is really pretty. So I am keeping this guy. Another is the Salt New York highlight in Pearl. It's not icy. It's more of like a champagne kind of shade, and it's really pretty when you just tap it onto your cheeks. It gives you the most subtle, radiant glow. So yeah, we'll be keeping this one for show. This one is my Phytosurgeon Spectral Shine. This is in the shade Divine Daylight. It's been a little difficult to get the product as of late, mainly because I feel like it was hard panning on me. I did have to kind of scratch it up a little bit just to make sure that I was still getting product, but it is a lot waxier than any highlight that I have. I don't know, it is a little difficult to get on the skin, but when you do, it's so pretty. Kind of natural highlight, you almost miss it, but at the same time, it's again, when you do get it on, it's like the prettiest, most subtle highlight, and it looks so natural on the skin. So definitely keeping. And finally, in terms of highlights, I do have my Chanel highlight, and this is a really pretty, more warm kind of highlight. It has like a gold shift. Yeah, it was actually a gift from one of my sister-in-laws, and I've been enjoying it. I really have, but I do have to make it a point to use this a little bit more. Haven't been wearing a lot of powder highlight. Yeah, this is just too pretty to just sit. We'll be keeping with the intention of using a little more. So now I have the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhance. This is one of my favorite bronzers ever. It's something that I do plan on repurchasing, and I'm sure that it will become a staple in my collection because it's just that good. It's a neutral shade. It does a beautiful job at giving you a little bit of hydration, gives you this really pretty healthy look to your skin while simultaneously contouring it, and it's beautiful. I cannot say enough great things about this product. This one is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. This one, it's kind of a toss-up for me. This bronzer, for instance, works really nicely. I do have a blush that has that similar cream to powder formulation, and it just doesn't work as well. But this, because it does seem to be working still, it doesn't smell like it's expired or anything, it's not acting weird, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. But the putty blush, I don't think that's gonna make it, but we'll get to that in a minute. And now I have the Fenty Sunstalker in Island Tang, and this is just a really dependable bronzer. Although right now it's looking quite neutral, it definitely leans a little yellow. I'm still keeping it because it is a good option to have every now and then, something that will warm up the skin a little more. And finally, this is one of the recent additions to my collection as well. This is the Make Skin Mimetic Micro Suede Bronzer. This is in the shade Aura, and it is just divine. If you want to see more detailed thoughts about this product in particular, I do have a video where I review a few other products from Make. Goes without saying, this one stays. So these are my blushes. Let's do some organizing here. Okie dokie. So here are the powder blushes that I have on the top row. I have the Pat McGrath Trio. Okay, so this is Divine Rose, this is Desert Orchid, and this is Golden Nectar. This is a highlight, so goes without saying, this is staying. This is another Pat McGrath blush. It's actually the same one in the trio. This is the Divine Rose. I got this one for Christmas last year, and then the trio I got from someone else. It just so happened that the same blush was in both products, but anywho, yeah, I'm happy to have a backup. This is another from Make. This is their Skin Mimetic Micro Suede Blush in Celestial Rose. This is a nude rosy kind of color. You can't really see it again because of my poopy lighting, but it's really pretty. I do have that video if you are interested in knowing more about this, but we'll be keeping. And now these are my two RMS blushes. This is in Hanky Panky and this is in French Rosé. Definitely keeping both. I love both so much. The formula is divine. This one, Hanky Panky, is definitely unique to my collection in terms of its shade. So yeah, I'm happy to have it. Now here I have just like a random sample, I think. I don't even know what brand this is. It's just something that one of my sister-in-laws had given me. This is the shade Rose Fresque. I did use this quite a bit when I first got it. Just a nice pinky blush. But I feel like because it's so old, it's time to let it go. It's looking a bit chalky. This will be decluttered, unfortunately. And these are my two Kosas powder blushes. This one is Papaya 1972, and then this other one is Contra Chroma. Definitely will be keeping these two, even though they are pretty old. They still work really well. It's a decent formula, not the greatest, but I have used Papaya 1972 quite a bit, especially in the summer. Kind of like rosy orangey type of shade, really nice. So keeping both. And here we go. This is the e.l.f. Putty Blush that I was talking about. This is in the shade Tahiti. Although it feels really nice in the component itself, when it goes onto the skin, it just looks really weird. It kind of sinks into my pores and enhances them. It's a little too finicky for my taste. Even though the shade itself is really pretty, I'm okay with letting this one go. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. So these are the Kosas Color and Light Cream blushes. So I'll show you what I have. So I have Helios High Intensity, Tropic Equinox, which is just the regular. This is Tropic Equinox High Intensity, and 8th Muse. If I'm not mistaken, this is the regular. First of all, you can see how much this blush was loved. This is the Tropic Equinox shade. It's one of those shades that just looks so pretty on the skin. I did wish that it had been just a little more pigmented, which is why I purchased the High Intensity. However, the High Intensity is a whole completely different blush shade. The only reason why I was keeping this one around was because of the highlight, one of those like champagne-y highlights. But you know, they've gone bad, and I just need to let these go once and for all. Makes me sad because I like to use literally every drop of each of these products that I have in my collection, but I'd like to think that I did use the majority of this. This one, unfortunately, again, I do have to let it go. It's just super expired. The texture is really off. It's like really gunky and kind of difficult to spread. Same here. These two are for sure expired. This one, however, this was my last Kosas blush, and I'm super happy to have it in my collection. It's a pinky mauvey kind of shade. It looks beautiful on people with an olive undertone. I still love it. Keeping this one. Happy to report it doesn't smell like old crayons yet. All right, so this is the Melt Blush Light in Honey Thief, orangey, pinky. I don't know how to describe it. It's one of my favorite shades to wear during the spring because it's just so bright and happy. So keeping this one. This one is a Phytosurgeon Skin Spark in the shade Condensate. It's muted purple, grayish, definitely keeping. This is a Flush Balm from Merit. This is in the shade Beverly Hills. This one, I've made quite a dent on it just this summer. As far as the texture, it's really nice and hydrating. It leaves the skin looking really dewy, which I love. So yeah, I'm keeping this one. This is another new product from Make Beauty. This is their Heat Stroke in the shade Baked. And although it is being used currently as a bronzer in my collection, it is technically a blush. So just thought I'd show it. And then these are my Glossier Cloud Paints and Maybelline Cheek Heat. The Maybelline Cheek Heat is like a wannabe cloud paint. I love my cloud paints. These are staying in my collection. I very much enjoy all of these shades. And this one, the Cheek Heat, although it's not my favorite, I do like to layer this under my cloud paints because there are times when I want to look a little more dewy, and this definitely helps give that dewy texture on the skin. Pigment, unfortunately, does not last. It literally disappears within just a couple minutes. I'll keep it just for the time being, but I don't have any plans on repurchasing this type of product. And then totally forgot I had these. Sorry, this is disgusting, but these are from Salt New York. This is the shade Rose. This is the shade Cocoa. Keeping both of these because they're just such a pretty formula. This is what I use to contour. This is in the shade Taupe, so still keeping that. This is the Rose Ink Cream Blush in Dahlia. This is unique to my collection.